How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of Frankenstein. He's one of the strangest tales ever told. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. Well, we've warned you.
You have been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast where we dissect the Frankenstein movies minute by minute. I'm Bill Evenson.
And I'm Thom Lang, and we are at minute 47 of Oh, no, not Young Frankenstein.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
See?
Well, Frankenstein from 1931, but the minute starts with the very words, Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
As a toast. And I just wonder if that's where Wilder got the title.
Yeah,
the movie.
probably. I'm going to go,
so.
yeah. Why not?
I would think so.
Sure.
Because the story goes that he had just watched it
Right.
and had the idea, so I would guess.
And when you watch it, you don't need to be told that he watched those movies.
Yeah,
as
no,
inspiration.
there's no question.
Young Frankenstein's not a vague Frankenstein movie.
No,
It's a
not at
sequel
all.
to the to
It's
these
basically
movies.
the first three.
Mm-hmm. And he says as much in the interview on
Yes.
the Blu-ray,
Yeah,
and then he
but
mentions the one that
film
doesn't exist.
I can't remember.
He's
what
talking about Ghost, which there's definitely an influence there. I would say.
Oh,
Ghost
there's
is
a little
part of
bit,
it,
yeah.
because the brains.
Yeah.
So I think that's from Ghost.
Yeah.
Why not? Well, who
What the-
cares?
whatever.
It's
It's basically a distillation of the entire Universal Frankenstein cycle.
And yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I will say this while we're still talking about Young Frankenstein. I just watched it recently,
Okay.
and I think Peter Boyle as the monster in that film is probably second best to Karloff in terms of playing that part of any that I've ever seen. Name one that's as good.
Well, I think you're probably right, but the next on my list would probably be Christopher Lee. We've talked about this, though. I think that you think that it's partly the direction or something, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe we haven't talked about
Well,
this.
we did briefly, at lunch, I think. Yeah.
But there are some really striking, iconic things in there that aren't necessarily anything he's doing.
Right.
But I think he's really compelling too. He looks like
He
someone
is.
who's not comfortable in his body.
Yeah, no, he's very good. I'd say he's third.
Okay.
But I think Peter Boyle just, in what is essentially a send-up and a comic performance, is still very, very, very good. And you still have a lot of sympathy.
Yeah, that's absolutely
I
true.
didn't want to
There's
get...
no reason to expect that he'd be that good.
In
given
basically
just
a
what we even
burlesque.
know about, that style of comedy, I guess.
In a Mel Brooks film, you wouldn't expect
In a Mel
that good of
in a Mel Brooks
that
film.
good of a performance
Yeah.
in a Mel Brooks film.
Yeah, you're not gonna give. You're not gonna say Gene Wilder. Well, never mind. He's good too.
Wilder's good.
It's a comedy, so it's a different.
It's a different.
performance,
You have to judge it differently.
I guess why am I gonna trash Gene Wilder? Barely cold.
I love Gene Wilder.
I love Gene Wilder.
Anyway,
The Baron is in his element.
He is.
I have enjoyed his character every moment he has spent in this film, but I can't imagine any other characters ever enjoying any time they've spent with him. Yeah.
Well,
At
till
least
now he's very jovial.
He's too great. Everybody's happy just
Yeah.
to hang out with this guy.
Yeah.
Like he's the center of attention. Everybody loves him to
Everybody
pieces.
loves the Baron. Yeah.
And it isn't. I believe that. I mean, I think it's
Oh no,
true.
no, not being facetious. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but also that could be true just because he's the Baron, right? You've seen that's deference to to the guy with the money. If I want to keep my room in the whatever, I don't know who's getting to live there anymore. I don't know how barons live. Are there a bunch of people, but a bunch of suck-ups? Presumably.
Sycophants that.
Yeah, I don't think that's what this is. I think
I think
it could be some of that, but
well, I mentioned last week. I think the Baron we see early on is deeply troubled by what Henry's disappearance, and once that weight is lifted, I think we see more of what the true Baron might really be. Is he's extremely bothered by Henry's disappearance, and he's crabby.
Yep,
and he's funny. I think he's really funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny performance.
It would actually be kind of cool to see the burgomaster walk in right now and see him just turn.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here!
Throws his glass.
Oh, Jesus
Wedding's
Christ.
off. Wedding's off. Everybody out of my fucking house now.
Probably. Maybe just not even a word. Just drink in the face. They all just beat the shit out of the burgomaster, kicking him.
Oh dear.
All right. So I don't think you'll ever hear anyone ever has said, give them champagne. This stuff's wasted on them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to unpack there. Not a lot, I guess, but first of all, this stuff's wasted on them. That's kind of a classist.
Oh, it definitely is. And he's talking to a servant himself.
Yep.
So basically, he's like, this isn't good enough for you either.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a parallel that isn't. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to touch on that too much. But yeah, Hyde isn't. And his name is Hyde because he says it.
He says Hyde.
But Hyde
isn't. I thought for years until I watched. You put the subtitles on the minutes that we look at, and I thought it was Hives.
Oh, okay.
For the longest time.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that in this minute too. He's like walking along, muttering to himself, and you kind of can hear what he's saying. Yeah. He's referring to the people outside as boys and girls. Boys and girls
are busy.
Yeah. Watch with the subtitles because I think they're right. I haven't seen anything that I disagree with. No,
there's nothing I disagree with, yeah.
And that's often true. I like to turn the subtitles on and I get like, come on.
What? Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah. Well, and it pointed out things like when Fritz is whipping the monster and Henry intervenes, he says, careful, he has the strength of 10 men, and it's really hard to hear the line. Now I hear it, but for the longest time, it was difficult to discern what he was saying.
And without that line, do you get the impression that the monster has the strength of 10 men?
Not yet.
In this film, we don't see. I don't know if we have any indication that there's anything particularly special about the monster.
Not until the sequel.
Then it definitely changes. Well, maybe it doesn't change, I guess, because now we do have that line.
Have that line.
So there you go. He's a big brute.
Yeah.
He's a skinny, big,
skinny, burly,
tiny, cadaverous, muscular.
Not to go too far, but apparently there was one part of Karloff that was not especially tiny.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
You heard that?
I've heard that somewhere.
The best swordsman in Hollywood.
That's right. So, well, there you go. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but it does those boots, big boots,
big big feet. Yeah.
And of course, the other part of that line is you say this stuff's wasted on him, so give him champagne.
Champagne, yeah.
Like champagne is traditionally not looked at that way. I mean, I've bought a bottle of champagne. It isn't the most expensive thing in the world. You can get it. Yeah, you can get a bottle of champagne for $20 or whatever.
Yeah, but if you get good, we go out with a friend of mine and often get a bottle of champagne, and he'll get like Dom Perignon.
How much is a bottle?
I have no idea.
Don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
Well, this stuff.
But the
bottle of wine,
grandfather's wine is better than the.
Yeah, I wonder. I like wine, but I don't.
Are you like a connoisseur? Or does it have to be like expensive? Or?
No, I when I do drink the more expensive stuff, I notice it. So that's if I go back and forth, I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't as good.
Yeah, I'm not that way.
Never something that's been laid down for what were we guessing? 60 because it was was it his grandfather?
My grandfather bought this wine and
so shit says 90 years, right? So it's been 30 years since I don't know. We don't know the time frame.
It's old,
and I don't think I've ever had that. Like I don't even know if I buy that. I think 2012 wine is probably the best.
The best buy date.
Yeah, it might have gone bad by now. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Well, you stole my joke for the toast. So
what was your toast?
Well, I was just going to say that they say to the House of Frankenstein. I was going to say in the shooting script, the line is actually they toast to the ghost of the house of the son of the bride of young Frankenstein. But
well, I just thought it would have been great.
I knew it was coming eventually.
The toast should be to Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein.
I would at this
Abbott and Costello meets the killer, Boris Karloff.
I would give anything to have that in the film.
Frederick Kerr saying that. Shit.
This is Abbott and Costello. What? Hey,
the killer, Boris Karloff.
What? Oh, hey.
Oh, shit.
The only thing that's missing, he's got a little mustache, but he needs to have like the big, mutton chop things. Then it would be perfect.
And then a monocle.
He has a monocle.
Does he have a monocle? I guess he has a monocle, doesn't he? That's right. I do see the monocle. Okay, yeah, you're right. That's the only thing missing. Because does he have tails?
Yeah, here I believe.
Do you think he have tails?
Well, they're all dressed for the ceremony. So
yeah, probably has tails. Yeah. Top hat. Do we ever see him in a top hat?
Actually, he has a prehensile tail. You can't see it because of the trousers. But
yeah. Yep. Does he have a top hat though?
I don't. The Burgermeister does in the end of this scene when they go to the window and look out.
Because I was going to say, I didn't know that was the Burgermeister. I just saw a dude with the top hat.
That's the Burgermeister, yeah.
So you've got like the mingling of the common folk with the type that might wear a top hat.
Yes. Well, he stands out because he's the only one in black. Everybody else has got a very bright.
Yeah. Other people have hats and they're light colored.
They're like the Tyrolean, I believe, is the word.
There you go. They're Tyroleans. So then the champagne is distributed.
Yep.
And the head maid, I don't know what you call her, the head maid.
Sure, why not?
The lady who said her Victor
Morris
is fantastic here, and clearly, I'll just say what it is. Obviously, the champagne is distributed. Everybody takes a drink, and then she takes a second, and then I think even maybe a third drink. She polishes it off.
Goddamn sure she gets that whole glass.
You know what she does? She mops it up.
That's
what he says. Mop it up.
Mop it up. I said, well, he said.
That's right.
I'm following orders.
This is another moment that I thought I noticed last year when we watched it at the Trilon. Is people laughed at that. It's not lost on people.
No.
She's right up front.
She's right,
by the camera.
Very, very close screen right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. She's great.
Yeah.
Everybody loves what's her name. Her Victor Moritz.
The maid in the novel is Justine, so let's just call her Justine.
That's Justine. Yeah. I think you're right. That sounds familiar.
We'll just call
I think
that.
That's what Herr Victor Moritz. Thanks Justine.
Yeah,
remember, I forgot about that part. It was on the subtitles.
Yes. It's really hard to hear, but
but it caught it. Yeah. But now you'll never not hear it.
You won't hear it, yeah.
And then go off about your business. Mm-hmm. It's nice of the Baron to give a 10-second break before fucking cracking the whip.
Get the hell back to work. What the fuck am I paying you for?
To the point where maybe by Mop It Up, he's already talking about some mopping up, mop the floors. Yeah. I don't know. That didn't really work at all.
Yeah, but no, she's the only one that has the full glass because the others take like a sip and set it down.
Yeah, and it was just a glass of water or whatever. Yeah. It wasn't like...
No, it wasn't actually
There was no reason for them. This is planned out.
Oh, this was, it's another, I assume, whale bit of business that he had.
It's not a shooting script. That'd be something.
No.
One maid.
Yeah.
I keep thinking maid isn't the right word. Cleaning, maid. I don't know.
Maids, I don't know.
Because she, announced somebody. That's not something a maid would do.
I've never had servants, so I can't say.
Head lady servant.
Lady in waiting.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, what would you call Minnie in Bride? The Una O'Connor
Annoying?
Character? Yeah, well, you're beyond that.
Awful? No, I like her, so I'm not.
I do to a point. A little goes a long way.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get. There'll be some minutes in there. Yeah, I don't know. I guess she's a maid. And she'd sometimes
I think on the IMDb, because none of them get a screen credit.
No.
But I believe in the IMDb it says maid.
Okay, all right. I have some stuff about IMDb.
Do you?
In future minutes.
Okay.
Some interesting stuff. It's amazing how much it does have that isn't like anywhere else, and how much it gets right. And then all of a sudden, just like this thing we were talking about, where I was reading some publication that accidentally referred to Colin Clive as Victor, and I wanted to start the fucking thing on fire. IMDb has something like that.
Oh, there's a few of them.
Okay. All right, let's shut down the internet. We're done.
I send them corrections all the time.
Anything ever come of it?
Yeah. Usually,
because it used to be.
Because I check. Well, they used to check before they posted stuff. Now I think it's just whatever.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because there's some shit on Boris's page that was just like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yep.
So there's no evidence of this. Just somebody venting their opinion, and it was gone like a couple days later. So.
Well, then I'll give you one to go.
All right,
a little bit
I'll
later.
go home and just turn over a table.
Yeah. For all the good that'll do, yeah. All right. So, I mean, at least for a moment, it's probably sort of nice to work for the Baron. It's a fun, friendly thing.
3 minutes.
But you got to know, working for him is hell on earth. It's got to be the worst. Yeah. Like, in fact, doesn't she introduce the Burgermeister too?
Yeah.
Well, tell him to fuck you. Tell him to get out of here. What's the matter with you? What are you going to let a piece of shit like that in here for?
My house.
Burgermeister. Yeah.
Right.
That is I know we talked about it already, but it is sort of a fun thing to think about is, having make sure to check the explicit box, because I keep using this word, but having fuck you money, as the phrase goes, it would be fun to think, the mayor's here. Oh,
fuck him.
Get out of here. Why would I want to talk to that asshole? All right.
Then we get a nice wide shot of the whole room, which has a ceiling.
Okay.
I can't tell if it's a matte painting or if it's actually there. It looks like it's actually there. It looks like it's part of the set.
Seems like something they would do. They did it a number of other times.
Yeah, it's a big, elaborate set. It didn't have to be, but...
Yeah, when you mention matte painting, it does seem like they went out of their way and maybe didn't have to on a lot of these sets. Could have probably gotten away with a matte painting pretty easily.
Yeah, but the set, it looks to me anyway, it doesn't have, the telltale little signs that you can see when there's a matte painting. And even the best of matte paintings, I think it's part of the magic of them, is there's little giveaways.
Yeah.
And this looks to me like it's a real set.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. It's not that makes it any better.
But a bit of waste of money for what you get out of it.
Well, it's only in a couple shots, yeah.
Yeah. But this movie didn't go that far over budget, right? Or was it?
It was over, but not a lot. Yeah. Not hugely.
Went over by a few days and a few bucks. $1,000.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Not like our old friend Dracula.
Yeah.
Which was over budget and overscheduled by quite a bit.
Oh.
I think. Because the Spanish version wrapped long before the English version was done, and they were shooting after the fact at night.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was what I was going to say, was at least they got 2 movies out of it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that's really true today, because when they sell Dracula, that's a selling point to have that second movie, and people like us are like, "You damn right, that's
better be there."
Yeah, if you don't give me that, you're in trouble. Whereas back then, it was probably, it was one of the last ones, right? When did they stop doing that?
It was one of the last. Yeah, it was one of the last.
They gave it up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it. I don't know which. I think there's is it Cat and the Canary that has a Spanish version?
Yeah.
That's probably lost or something.
Oh, no, that's the only one.
Is that on there too?
There's the sound version of Cat and the Canary's Cat Creeps, and that's lost.
Okay.
But its Spanish version still exists.
Oh, God, that's what it is.
That's
all right.
What it is.
Which, so it only exists in Spanish.
Exists in Spanish.
All right. Is it as good as the lost one?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
How old do you think I am?
I don't know when it was lost. Maybe it was lost last week.
1978.
It would be sad if they start losing stuff now. We were going to digitize this. We didn't get around to it.
Every copy of it has disappeared. I don't know what happened.
It's like a Back to the Future. They start fading out.
Hey, they had Cat and the Canary. What the hell?
I clung to physical media thinking this couldn't happen. I mean, did you see? Well, this was last year's news, but Filmstruck now is
going
defunct
away at the end of November,
and that's
that's a shame.
I already saw an article saying physical media. This is you got to keep it, man.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I do. I know. Yeah, well, you haven't been to my house lately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of junk, as some people might say.
I wouldn't call it junk, but yeah, you could say that.
A lot of shiny discs.
A lot of shiny discs.
Yep.
Yeah. So they go to the window and look out, and we see the Port of Miracles and Little Europe set of the Universal backlot.
And is that
it's still
standing?
There. It is still there.
Nice.
I got a lot more about it in the next minute.
Okay, yeah, we see
a good, nice tracking shot.
Yeah, we do see village people.
We see village people. There's an Indian. There's a cop.
There's an Indian and a cop, which is weird. The construction worker looks a little bit appropriate to the time period.
Right, but the others
the hard hat.
The others seem a little out of place.
Actually, what are they? There's
biker.
Biker. Is the other one? Is that it? I don't know. It's been a while. Are they still around? Probably.
Could be anybody.
There's it's true.
It's like Kiss. You see some guys.
Apparently not. They tried to sell that for a while.
Yeah,
they tried to say, well, we could keep going with anybody.
Yeah.
But now I think they're giving up the ghost on that
kidding.
one. So yeah, the village people are literally whooping.
Yes.
I swear I hear someone say, yippee!
Probably do. Yeah.
Which I guess is fine. Maybe that kind of cheesy behavior seems cheesy to us because that's what they did in the olden days.
Well, how often do you get a chance to cut loose like that in this village?
This
where Frankenstein,
wretched existence.
The Baron has the steel grip over him. The one day he lets us have a good time.
Yep, you're going to have 2 beers.
Well, that's the thing, because he says how friendly people are on a couple bottles of beer.
That's right. This man has never seen Packer fans. It's not conducive to friendliness.
No. And in the script, it's a couple barrels of beer.
Oh.
So he got stingy at some point. 2 bottles of beer for that whole crowd. Make it last.
I guess I assumed he meant each. But yeah, I suppose it could be that they just passed him around.
Yeah, you got to make it last.
He's really condescending. About the way he says that, how amazing, how friendly you can make people want to give, especially because he's not a particularly friendly guy until he has a couple of bottles. Maybe that's all. Maybe it isn't condescending. Maybe he's being consistent.
Yes,
because he has never been friendly until he got a couple of bottles of beer.
Until
he asked for some brandy for somebody else, but I guess it doesn't really count. And Henry is happy.
Henry looks a little more relaxed than he did in the previous couple minutes.
He's laughing at his father's jokes. He's enjoying spending time with his father, and we'll see how long that lasts.
They didn't mention heterosexual sex, so he didn't get really uncomfortable, so he's okay.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll see how long his good mood will last. And here goes the music.